Hey everyone. If you've ever felt like you need a map, maybe a compass, just to figure out what's going on in the world of AI, you are definitely in the right place. Today, we're taking a whirlwind tour of the generative AI landscape. So think of this as your personal guide to this wild, incredible new frontier. And our journey, well, it has to start with the sheer speed of how this is all unfolding. I mean, just look at this timeline. Kicking off in late 2022, the pace has been, well, absolutely insane. We went from the first versions of ChatGPT to these powerhouse models like Gemini and Claude in what feels like the blink of an eye. And at the same time, the capabilities just exploded, from just text to creating images to executing code. And now, we're even talking about AI agents that can act on their own. The whole landscape is evolving so fast, it's almost impossible to keep up. And that's exactly why having a clear map is more important than ever.
So first things first, before any big expedition, you gotta understand the terrain, right? So let's get our bearings. What exactly is generative AI?
Okay, let's break this down, because the key is right in the name. Generative AI, capable of creating new content. That's the magic word right there, creating. We're not just talking about AI that analyzes data that's already out there. No, this is about generating something totally new, whether that's writing an email for you, composing a piece of music, or spitting out a block of Python code. It's a creator. Now, for a lot of us, our first taste of this tech was through a chatbot. But chatbots are really just one branch on a much, much bigger tree. As you can see here, the foundation, the trunk of that tree, is something called a large language model, or LLM. And from that one core technology, we get everything else. Not just the chatbots, but also those powerful AI agents we mentioned, advanced systems for searching huge libraries of documents, and honestly, a ton of other AI-powered tools. The big takeaway here is this. What you see on the surface is just the tip of the iceberg. All right, so we get the what. Now let's talk about the who. Who are the major players out there shaping this new world? You can pretty much split the whole landscape into two main camps. On one side, you've got the proprietary or closed source models. Think of companies like OpenAI, Google, Anthropic. They build their tech and keep it pretty close to the chest. Then, on the other side, you've got the open models, like Meta's Llama or Google's Gemma. These are out there for developers to use, to tweak, and to build on top of way more freely. And this difference, this philosophical split between tightly controlled development and open, community-driven innovation, it's shaping the entire future of this space. So you know the terrain, you know the players, but how do you actually use all this stuff? Well, let's look at the three main modes of transport you can take on your AI journey. The first, and by far the most common path, is just using existing services and apps. Think of this like hopping on a ready-to-go tour bus. It's easy, it's super accessible, and it gets you where you want to go with zero fuss. This is you using ChatGPT or Gemini directly, or, those cool new AI features that are popping up right inside stuff you already use, like Photoshop or Excel. Okay, path number 2 is integrating AI using APIs. Now, if the first path was a tour bus, this is like renting a car. You get a whole lot more freedom and control. An API is basically a special doorway that lets a developer hook the power of a big model, say from OpenAI, directly into their own custom app. It's how you build something new with AI at its core. And finally, we've got the third and most advanced path, self-hosting. This isn't a tour bus or a rental car. This is like designing and building your very own custom-made expedition vehicle from the ground up. You take an open model like Llama, and you run it on your own servers, your own hardware. It gives you the absolute maximum amount of control and privacy, but yeah, it also takes the most technical skill. And this is a really cool look at what that second path, the API integration, is all about under the hood. On the left, you see the basic building block. Just a few simple lines of code to call the OpenAI API. It looks pretty straightforward, right? But that simple little building block is what powers the incredibly complex stuff you see on the right, the code inside a real-world application. That simple call is the key that unlocks immense power. Okay, we have officially mapped the territory. We've met the players and we've explored all the ways to get around. So now it's time to chart your course. So there they are, your three main pathways forward. Using ready-made services and apps, building your own custom tools with APIs, or taking total control by self-hosting. You've seen the map. And whether your goal is just to use these new tools better, or to build the next great AI application, or even to run your own models, just remember this. A deep understanding of these fundamentals is the single most critical asset you can have for the journey ahead.
And really, that brings us to the final and most important question. You've seen the map, you know what's possible. The question is now for you. Which path are you going to explore first?